Okay, fam, how are you doing? For once in a while, I want to sound like a motivational speaker right now, just something quite little, because I know that the best kind of motivation is the type that you give to yourself every day, kind of things you say to yourself, and the kind of actions you take, the moves you make. Those are the kind of motivation anyone can talk about. Because you can hear words and not take them into action, and yet no one would criticize you for them because it's your life. Everyone is living their life. And besides, I know that the best form of motivation is the type you give to yourself. That's what I believe in. But then I want to sound like a motivational speaker, the type you know. I get it. Okay? You get to a point where any job is good enough. You've gone to school, you've acquired the skill, and yet no jobs. And then you're ridiculed with the situation of the pandemic and no pandemic, despite the fact that things were already worse before now, things were really bad. But then it's become so much difficult now that even the 5/10 you can actually have as a possibility have turned out to be 1/10, of which that 1% is meant for the people with the opportunity, the overall opportunity, I can say, I would probably want to specify. So it gets to a point where we just want something. We want any job. However, anybody that comes out to announce a job, we all want to apply. Just so that we can tell ourselves that, okay, we've tried something, we've done something at least, even if there's nothing available. The difficulty is quite imperative. It's something that is telling on everyone. Okay, even the people who are working, most of them are working on pay cuts. Most of them are actually going home with uh, their salaries slashed into three and paid from one part. So it's not like sometimes you say, "Oh, half bread is better than none." Yeah, to an extent, half bread can fuel you if your appetite is not big. So it's no longer half bread now. I think it's a pinch. Because whether your appetite is big or small, it's still not enough for you. So that phrase has become past tense as far as the situation of today is concerned. Will I say it's the modern situation? It's because it's quite ridiculous actually. It's a very nonsensical situation to be modern. Anyone would say, okay, the new way of things should be better, but then I think the new way of things have come with too many downsides, especially the improvement of things that are supposed to make things better rather than make things worse. But then, yeah, you can probably tie that around conspiracy theories. That is not our take. But so I get it. I get it. I talked to a few people and I ask, okay, and the next thing you hear, I applied for that job. Even when you know you just know that you're not going to get it. Imagine calling for an interview, calling people to apply for a job that you only have 100 slots, and you have over 1 million people applying for the same job. That tells a whole lot. That tells a whole lot. And for this part of the world, I just don't want to put blames. But then you look at yourself in the mirror and you tell yourself everything will be alright because you can't come and kill yourself. Okay, leave everything aside, leave words aside, and probably you say, oh, if you say I should do this, how am I supposed to survive? But yeah, you're not going to kill yourself. No one is going to kill. No one will die. Oh. As a matter of fact, these are moments that would pass. And these are challenges that we're actually going to beat, regardless of anything. But as time goes by, you think about the things you've done and the things you haven't. You think about the people who really stand for you and the people who are looking down on you. And you tell yourself, well, that's the situation. That's really the situation right now. The circumstance is ugly. And so therefore everything can go. But I would just stand on that podium where the same people who tell you everything will be all right, and the same people who tell you they use one fish to start up a fish farm, I would stand on that same podium to tell you everything will be all right. Okay, it just requires some work. I know we've been working so hard, and probably someone would say, how much work do I need to put in place? But certainly, it's going to be all right. It's all going to be all right. As long as you don't relent, as long as you don't fall short on the opportunities, as long as you don't think that the next opportunity could be the same as before, not good enough for you. I think we should all be taking chances as far as the things are concerned, especially in this moment of survival. I think that everyone should be able to keep going regardless of anything. You just have to keep walking. The water is close. Your taste, your throat is about to take something nice. So you just have to keep walking. Okay? This is not about telling you up and telling you down and telling you to start a business and telling you to do that. We can actually talk about all of that later. But for now, you just have to keep walking. I don't know who really needs to hear this, especially if you're actually seeing an opportunity that you're meant to apply for, regardless of how difficult or how impossible it is. But you just have to apply for that thing. Just go on and apply for that job or apply for that opportunity. You never can tell. It sounds awkward. It sounds like you've submitted 1,000 and yet no response. But yeah, it might just be one. Would make your testimony greater. So, what do you think? Should we keep trying? Yeah, that's me. That's me telling you to keep trying. We are going to keep trying. If I sit here and tell you everything that goes on every day with me and everyone that I know in person, you beat your chest and tell yourself that you're doing well, even when you've not even been able to cushion 3 square meals a day. You beat your chest and say you're good. But then it is not a life we ask for. No one. People have done a lot of things. People have tumbled the world and lived how they lived, just so that they can cushion everything that comes to them. But then, we didn't choose it this way. You didn't choose it. I didn't. We didn't have a hand where we came out. We didn't have a hand on the country. We didn't have a hand on the state. Neither did we choose the parents. So, should we give up? Yeah, you can give up if you want to. But then, are you giving up right now? What will you do if you give up? Nothing. You're just going to keep complaining, and that's it. So how about we don't give up? How about we keep fighting? Yeah, anyone would say, what would you be fighting with? Of course, we don't have any other thing. You just have to keep fighting with your courage. That's the only available weapon, right? Am I sounding nice? No, I'm not. I'm not a very good motivational speaker. So I'm just going to sound as real as I can, just the way I manage my own stuff. But then, please don't stop. That's what I'm going to say. Don't stop trying. Don't you stop trying. Someday it's going to happen. It's going to pay off. It's going to change. I know a few people who actually kept rolling life just like that until at some point in time, everything changed. And it came like a surprise. It built walls for their testimonies. Too much to say, right? Too much. But then, just keep going. It's gonna be alright. That should be it. Too much talk won't help us on this one. My name is Nwilliams, the Radio Apprentice. And this is Oralvault Radio Podcast. And I'm live here. You just stay tuned, I'll be right back. I just want to give you a few words before I start my show for tonight.